364 days ago, I shared my 7th ever YouTube video, a film study on the one and only Alyssa Thompson. Since then, she's had a breakout season and a hot start to 2025. It seems only fitting to use last week's match footage to explain why. After that, I've got film and stats from 2 of her matchups that had me glued to the TV. Welcome back to Busy Watching Women's Soccer. I'm Brady O'Toole, but before we look at film this week, I had to share something that made my day, my week. It's early, but it's a candidate for having made my whole month. A few videos ago, I shared the new hats. Well, here is one on Zoe. I love this photo so much. I had to give her a shout out. Zoe is 9, but she's already been playing soccer for 4 years. She's an excellent striker and scored her team's first goal of the season. And sometimes Zoe also plays as a goalkeeper. That is a real team player but wants to win. Just the type of player we love here on this channel. So thank you so much to Zoe and Dan for supporting the channel. This is a really special moment for me. I appreciate you sharing the photo and allowing me to share it with everybody else. If you would like to support the channel too, the hats are available on the website. I'll put the link down below. I've only done a limited run of them. I know we can get them sold out, and I would love that. If you've been following along for the full year, one, God bless you. Those first videos were kind of a rough watch for me going back, so I really appreciate you being along for the journey. But two, you will have figured out that I love set pieces, and when I saw this live, I knew it was time to do an update on the Alyssa Thompson video. So let's go look at what I originally said my issue was.
And I also really don't like how Angel City uses her on set pieces. This is Alyssa Thompson, but she's basically looking for anything flowing outside of the box, like if a defender was to clear it. She's very fast to be able to chase balls down, and she's also 5'4" and not very strong. So do you want her in the middle of this heap of people? Probably not, but she could be back here. She could be back here. It's a lot of standing around and watching for one of your best players.
Here's what Angel City changed. Instead of Alyssa Thompson being out here, she's now right in front of the goalkeeper. At first glance, it kind of looks like her job might be to block the goalkeeper's vision or impede her movement. But as the ball gets released, we're going to see her move into this space here, which is a much better spot for her. She's still available for the second opportunity. It's not the most physical, competitive area of the box on a set piece. I think this is a really good way to use her skills. I just like this whole setup a lot better. My other concern in the original video had to do with defense, so let's go have a look at that.
When she's here, she also becomes the second to last defender. We've got to remember, she is a forward and she is young. I don't know why that's the player you want as your second to last man. And then look at this. This is Marta, one of the most intelligent, phenomenal players in the world.
Angel City were using Alyssa Thompson in this way because she's fast, but guess what? They have plenty of other fast players who also happen to be defenders. So now the second to last defender is Giselle Thompson. As the kick's taken, she is going to move into more of a central position. I really like this setup. It's got like a little bit of disguise in it, but with all that same security and safety. So here we see Giselle start to come more central. And although Angel City, I'll admit, they have a decent amount of time here to recover, but we're going to see that once the speed comes into this transition, they're ready. They're able to get back really fast. They have the legs to do it. Sure, they might get a little bit more challenged in this look by Kansas City, by Orlando, but I like what I'm seeing so far. Let's go see what else I had to moan about in relation to the press.
I just don't think Angel City know how to use Alyssa Thompson's natural talents. Here, they're running something called a high block, which means even though Angel City have 3 forwards in this formation, they've pulled a midfielder into the top line so that there's 4 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Miss Alyssa Thompson has just been standing around, and we know she's fast. We know she can pressure and impact the game.
Here's how Angel City's pressure is looking in 2025, and it is a very different structure. You're going to notice that Alyssa Thompson is no longer in this first line of pressure. She's in the second line of pressure. She's out here in the wide area. I think this is a really important change that makes very good use of her skill set. I've talked before about how this first line of pressure, they're not really expected to win the ball back. They're expected to force the issue, make things difficult for the opposition, and force bad plays. You then have someone in the second line come and scoop up that loose ball off that bad touch, win possession back for your team. I think that is a much better role for your fastest player, to have them maybe cover more ground and try and scoop the ball up versus just running in a straight line. But here's the thing that I really like. Sometimes that is going to be appropriate. And I think Angel City have added a lot of sophistication to their press. This situation is a dead ball scenario, so slightly different situation, slightly different pressing scenario. We have Jordan Bugg out here who's going to have the first touch on the ball, but because of that, we've brought Alyssa Thompson all the way up here to really force some pressure on this kick. We talked last week about some of the keepers that are being asked to do more work. Dickey is still avoiding being a statistic right now, doing a great job there. But look, after all that pressure, who does the ball come back to? Alyssa Thompson makes a fantastic cut, fantastic shot. She has just grown so much over the last year. An absolute joy to watch her play right now. This is just turning into a superstar in front of our eyes. I had one more complaint, and it was about her game looking a little bit predictable.
Because we've seen on the film, when she's on the left wing, she likes to shoot. When she's on the right wing, she likes to bring the ball in and pass.
Well, guess what? I no longer know what Alyssa Thompson's doing every time. Approaching the end line with a ton of speed there, it becomes really difficult to read what she's doing, and that helps create a very close chance. She does such a great job at change of pace. She really understands how to use change of pace to escape. Fantastic cut. What a ball in. Another really close one. And this came from a set piece, but my, you can just see how she's starting to understand how to use this area of the pitch, really operating like a professional. And just look at the movement from her teammates too. This whole thing is just so fluid, so crisp. Angel City are looking really, really good at times, and I'm excited to watch this team. One of the biggest things I'm happy to see is this roster. This is a really good roster. I think every single player on this roster is an excellent player. I think, you know, some of them are earlier in their career, some of them are later in their career, but regardless, the quality is there across every single position on the pitch, and I think that is a very big change for Angel City. Good on them for that. Next up, we got to have a look at the Wave defense, because I very regretfully said last week that they were the problem with the San Diego Wave, and that is just not true. They had Barbara Banda's number all match. I really, really like how they played this. I think they were very intentional about giving her a lot of time and giving her a lot of space, which sounds incredibly, incredibly counterintuitive. But here's the thing, Barbara Banda could dribble herself into oblivion, and I think the Wave have figured that out. So check out Kennedy Wesley when she's playing this. She's not running to the ball. She's maintaining her spacing, right? She's not trying to beat Barbara Banda out here. She's willing to have that battle up there and wait and be patient. And when she's stepping back here, you're going to see there's never any intention to step forward. She's giving Barbara Banda that space, and just maintaining a safe distance is totally fine. Patient, patient, patient. And look at her just dribble herself out of possession there. Some frustration coming in for the first time. I just think this was so smart and well done for the Wave. They did a good job even preventing the ball in behind. Of course, it's going to happen sometimes, but when it does, they're just calm, they're collected. Look at them retaining possession. On this one, I thought we were toast. I thought there was no way she's going to score, we're done. But again, patient, and when you've been patient all day, it pays off. My, it was really something to see. It was an excellent match from McNabb, from Wesley, but everyone played well. This is a great tackle from Maroney. Really good job retaining possession. Cascarino had a very good game again. Here she is with an excellent tackle, also retaining possession. See how important that is in this match. It's not just the tackling, it's the way that they are keeping the ball. This is a little bit of a pickup, but that's Dali getting involved. This one we see Lundqvist having to track back, makes the big slide. It was just so good across the board from everyone. I deeply, deeply regret my words, because Kristen McNabb, being an absolute dog, was not on my bingo card. It was just such a good performance from her, and a real treat to watch. The fact that Orlando did not get a goal in open play, and it took them 2 set pieces. Here's what Strum's saying right now. I'm going to translate for you because I'm actually a very good lip reader. I haven't shared this ability. I'm just going to come up and she's going to say, last week we looked at some stats, and I talked about how stats can show up on screen. This week I wanted to talk about how sometimes stats are incredibly misleading. So I have a mystery player here from one of the weekend's matchups. Now, this player was lowest in her team for pass completion with a measly 41% of her passes successful. That put her dead last on her team out of anybody that attempted at least 2 passes. It actually put her second to last out of both teams in the entire match. Miscontrols, which are when you have a bad first touch, lose possession of the ball, she was dead last for her team. She had the most miscontrols, and actually she had the most miscontrols of anybody on the pitch the entire matchup. I haven't told you if this player is a defender or a forward, but you wouldn't know because they had 0 tackles, 0 interceptions, 0 shot creating actions, 0 goal creating actions. But here's the thing, this player is hero of the match, Ashley Almost Hatch Trick. What doesn't necessarily show up in the stats is quality, and this header is about as quality of a header as it gets. The redirection is so difficult. The timing to make the ball come down and bounce before it gets to the keeper, incredibly difficult. It's just perfect execution, and this celebration might have been even better than a second goal. Just as good. If you watch my NWSL final coverage, you know I was pretty critical about Hatch's positioning on these headers and her maybe wanting it too much, competing with teammates. Well, no more. This is just perfect timing, anticipation, positioning. Really, really excellent stuff. So happy to see this for the Spirit. Check out this context for some of the stats I was poo-pooing. There's one of the miss hits. What does it matter? That's a great place to take a chance. This is one of the incomplete passes. Again, it's only a little bit off, and it would have been very threatening if they connected. This is another incomplete pass, but again, it's generating a pretty decent opportunity. There's also a bunch of stuff that doesn't show up in stats. Look how much she is going to walk Abby Dahlkemper here. And you see Dahlkemper start turning her head. She's all worried now. That is a lot of movement to get out of someone. And it is very annoying having to cover someone like that all evening. So Ashley Hatch, stats didn't match up to her performance. She had a killer performance, and I just wish there had been one more goal. Thank you for checking this one out. I got some exciting things coming up that I'm looking forward to sharing with you. One of them is going to be a Champions League video. It just did not happen this weekend. I think we're going to get it done with the semifinals. Please keep bugging me. It'll get there eventually. Thank you for watching this one. I really appreciate your time. Look forward to seeing you again.